just tells you, I will tell you what is below here is the Swiss Plasma Center. I'm a physicist in the Swiss Plasma Center, which is one of the research centers of the EPFL. And besides my research, I'm also a teacher and in the physics section. And I'm also the academic coordinator for the student exchange program. And I'm here to welcome you more specifically for this start of your exchange. I guess some of you are, well, you are from a little bit everywhere, I guess. I didn't look at the list, but as usual, you are from the whole world, basically. And so a particular welcome to all of you. It's nice to have you on board at EPFL. I think it's a mutual enrichment to have people from very different backgrounds. I tell the same to our students when they go abroad as one of the main motivations, and I'm sure you have the same. So I'm here just to tell you certain things some of you may know already. Sorry about that for the repetition. It will be just a reminder or refreshment, and maybe some interesting information more about the academic side of the story. Coming to study abroad involves, you know it already, lots of things. Administratively, you have to find a place to sleep, you find something to eat, you have to find, you know, all these things. I'm not responsible for that, sorry. But on the other hand, on the academic side, if I can be of any help, of course, you can always contact me. Just as a reminder, we have also other information sessions in other auditoriums. So for new master students, it's not here. Here, some of you are exchange students, but take some master courses. That's the place to be. I think he's still here. You are not doing the whole master. If you're doing the whole master, either in physics or nuclear engineering, you have to go just next door here. Okay, so first of all, it's really annoying, this thing. I don't know how to make it disappear. Ah, okay. Don't know. Okay, it's in the middle now. It's not very comfortable either. Maybe here. No. Okay. Sorry, very bad idea. Yes, very good. An escape when I want. Thank you, thank you. I learn everything on Zoom. We've been on Zoom for the past 2.5 years. I'm very happy that this period is behind us. It's nice to have you face to face, without mask, without all of this. I hope it does not come back. Anyway, so we are here. This is the map of EPFL from the. Yeah. We are here in the middle of these buildings. On the top right, you have the physics section, which is just next door here. You have Mrs. Scherer, Valérie, who is the administrator for the physics section. You can also contact her for maybe she has already contacted you, I don't know, but also for things specifically concerning the physics section. You have then the registrar's office, Service Académique, SAC, yeah, which includes the student exchange office, and we have these persons who probably have already contacted you, I don't know. They are responsible for different countries, so depending on where you're from, you will have to deal with either of those 4 persons in particular. The physics section is responsible for the whole, say, teaching duties of physics at EPFL, and is headed by my colleague Cécile Hébert, professor at the physics section. My office is just opposite to this point. That's the Swiss Plasma Center. This is these buildings here next to the road, and my office is up there. Best way to contact me is drop me an email, and then we can convene for an appointment, and we can discuss if you have any questions, and so on and so forth. Okay. So one of the things that you have to do, some of you have already, there is, of course, the question of the choice of courses that you have to take. The philosophy at EPFL is that it is essentially a responsibility of your home institution to check if you have the required, prerequisites and stuff like this. We don't know exactly what is your background, which courses you have followed, and so on. Your home university knows. And of course, with you checking the course content and things like this, you can then guess or maybe have these things anyway in the end approved by your home institution. So your home institution is responsible to validate your studies here on the basis of the results obtained. So just to be clear, we are responsible to provide you the highest possible quality teaching as we can imagine, okay, best effort. You are taking the exams here. We will, of course, mark these exams, and based on the results that you will receive, then your home institution will say okay or not okay, or you have to redo things, or and so on and so forth. We are not responsible of that part either, but we are responsible for everything that happens here. Say, and that's important because you are, as an exchange student, you are submitted to exactly the same rules as EPFL students. For the exams, of course, the same rule for everybody. That's the same scale for marks, the same, etc. Like resitting exams, and there's a caveat here, very important for you to know, but we are not responsible, or the rules for the choice of courses are totally free for you. Whereas for our students, for example, in their third year, they have to take quantum physics 1, statistical physics, classical electrodynamics, and so on. And they have to, these are compulsory courses. You can forget all about this. You can take any course. In principle, at least from our side, you will not be submitted to that rule. Like we have this system of blocks of branches, which are a set of different topics. And the rules for acquiring the credits for a block is that you make the weighted average of the results of the exams, and then if this result is at or above the pass mark, you get all the credits for that block, including eventually for the few branches which you would have failed. That's a rule of the block. We don't apply this. You will just receive branch by branch a statement with the number of credits, the mark, period, nothing more. Okay. We follow this ECTS system of credits. I think all Europeans know this. If you are extra European, okay, it's a system of credit which just basically says one full year, one full-time year is worth 60 of those ECTS credits. Okay, you can, even if you are registered in physics, in principle, you can also choose courses in other sections. So it's maybe worth checking if you are still looking for some courses in other, for example, math or chemistry or mechanical engineering or whatever. There are some very interesting courses, I think, even for a physicist, which could be of interest to you. There are exceptions. For example, there are courses which are not allowed for you to take. Some master courses, all the master courses in financial engineering and in master in management of technology, this is out of range for you. And for laboratories, the third year laboratories are also, you are not allowed to take. I mean, we're just full house in this. We cannot, yeah, unfortunately. But you have labs. I will come back to the, say, lab part of the things in a moment. Don't forget to register for the courses you have selected. There is a deadline, which is exactly 2 weeks from now. So you still have time to visit these courses. And maybe, I don't know, maybe you have chosen, I don't know, advanced quantum mechanics because you think it's particularly thrilling, and you go to the course and you say, my God, that's not exactly what I wanted. You can change. Yeah, I mean, I take just this as an example. Anything can be changed from our point of view, check again with your home university if it is approved, but from the administrative point of view of EPFL, we still give you these 2 weeks, and I think it's nice. It should not be longer because otherwise you have to catch up too much, but it gives you time to check a few courses, yeah. And the online registration is on IS Academia. I think you have received all the practical instructions to do so in here. Some useful web pages. I will send you, by the way, this presentation by email. I think it will be, I also asked that this presentation will be put somewhere on the website. Talking about email, something I forgot to write on this presentation. You should now really use and check your epfl.ch mail, because there are automatic lists of distributions to which you are automatically included, which you could miss if you just check your home university mail, right? So just go there and check this one. And I will use this mail to send you the copy of these pages. And there are a few interesting links to these the study plans, and that's the global view of the curricula here, just the table. And what is perhaps more interesting for you is this thing here. Okay, not found. That's normal. That's usual. I don't know what, but it's actually working. This I just checked before I came, and now it doesn't work. Okay, it works. I tell you, it works. I don't know what happens now. It's the famous, I do say, Murphy's law or something like this, that it doesn't work when you want it to work. Okay. Anyway, this gives you tables, but links then from there, links to the course descriptions, which is very handy to have. Yeah, it contains information also about the language in which the course is given, number of credits, which semester it is given, the type of exam. I also want to emphasize, especially, I mean, the more you go towards the master, the more you will have oral exams. And I know that for some of you, it's something you are not used to because you had only written exam. So just as an information, just check this. Or we have also the type of exam. It is actually not an exam. It is, you are controlled during the semester. For example, on labs, some labs you give reports. On the computational physics course, you have to do exercises and give your projects, and then you receive marks all during the semester, and there is no final exam. All this this information is there. You have a link also to the academic calendar, which can be useful for all these dates. So now laboratory and projects. We have here, I have to distinguish between two different things. Either you are a student at the master level coming here for an exchange, and we have what is called advanced physics lab or physics lab 4A and 4B. These are just the 2 semesters, but it's basically the same idea. So TP4, it's a kind of acronym. This is a research project. The amount of work is typically 1 day per week. And this takes place not in a dedicated laboratory, but you go to one of the physics laboratories of EPFL. So it's first contact, well, one of the first contacts with a real world of research, I would say. And you can check here what are those laboratories and research centers to have an idea. The way it works is that to come to this TP4 type of things, you have to look from these pages. There's contact information, contact the head of the lab. The other way is, if you are interested, I don't know, in astrophysics, you are master students who will obviously choose some astrophysics course, so you can ask directly your professor, of course. It's an obvious contact point if he has a possibility to give you a project. There are, of course, a limited number of places, so maybe you don't get immediately what you want to have, but you have to. But this requires proactive action from your side to contact someone and say, okay, I would be really interested in this, and do you have a possibility? Yeah. And of course, again, you have to check with your home university that it's okay. That's the case for everything. I just repeat that again. But on the bachelor level, on the other hand, our curriculum does not include something which would be called a bachelor project or research project at the bachelor level. And if your home university requires you to take such a project, then the procedure is somewhat similar as for TP4. So you have to contact professors in the branches, go again to this research thing, but you just have to explain exactly what is the format required by your university. I know some of you are from Imperial College and they require it's a project during the bachelor. It's something like 1.5 semester or something like this, kind of special format to which our professors are maybe not used. So you will have to explain that. And discuss how many credits such a project should carry in principle. You should have this information from your home university. If you are required, you should take a project of, I don't know, 10, say, credits, then this gives an information about, say, the size or importance of the project. Now, you will not find bachelor project in the study plans. But on IS Academia, you should register to the following course. It's EPFL and the code name is 301, specific project for exchange or visiting student. It's there that you have to register. Simple. Yes.
And so if the number also corresponds to a master's student?
No, if you, I would say if you are a master's student, the simplest thing, and if the number of credits, this is 8 credits for 1 semester, this TP4. So if this format is okay for you, I think it's simpler to go. Then you will find it, I'm sure, in the IS Academia physics lab for A and for B. I don't have the code, but you will find it. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a replacement for bachelor students that the bachelor students do, so it's something especially for master students like preparatory for the master's, for example.
It can be viewed in this way. The master laboratory here, this is semester project. This is not yet the master thesis. The master thesis here is 1 semester full time. You do just that, only that. This is something else. Yeah? This is just 8 credits per semester, 1 full day per week. Say. Okay, thank you. That's important, of course. Yes.
So I saw on the website that for a lot of projects we have to submit CV. So is it better to just submit multiple applications at once and then
CV, really?
I
Your
saw
CV?
for some projects it was like email the professor with a cover letter and a CV.
Yeah. Okay. That could be useful. Yeah, okay, I understand. Yeah.
So is it better to apply to multiple projects at once or just go one by one?
It's a good question. So the question for those in remote is it better to try to apply simultaneously to many projects or just one after the other? I would say the middle way is probably correct, unless you are absolutely certain and 100% sure that you want absolutely a project, say in quantum optics or something like this. Okay, then you will harass the professor until he takes you. No, there is no harassment. I'll come back to this at the end of this presentation, by the way. But anyway, and with the risk that there is, okay, the professor is already busy or he has no, it's a good idea maybe to try 2 different things, maybe 3, but not all at once. I mean, it's a question of being reasonable, because you will, if you are accepted, you will have to say sorry, no to all those on the other hand. I mean, it's a question of common sense. There is nothing that would prevent me to tell you, no, you should not apply. Yes. The idea is to really find a match between the possibilities, your desire, the requirement of your home university, all these, and we hope the planets align. That's the idea. if you're not sure, you can try. I would say try maybe 2 or 3 maximum in parallel. But that's just my 2-cent advice, nothing more. Huh? No hard limit in this case. Okay. Yes.
For the before the deadlines also the
I think so. I didn't check if there was a specific deadline for that.
we need to come back to the side of the market.
Yeah, I would recommend to do it really very, very soon if you have not done it already, so that you have already a first, glimpse, because first feedback. Yeah. You have these 2 weeks to do that, yes, and you should not. Yeah, it should not be longer, because otherwise, of course, you have a delay in the start of the project. So yes, it's maybe an information we should send to all of you before you come, actually. But it's, yeah, I know it's difficult. Yeah, we don't have a mailing list until you are registered here with EPFL.ch, and but. Okay, that is something I should maybe mention in our organization, so that you can, ahead of your coming here. I mean, once you are officially approved, then you can already contact some professors before or just now. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let me just go on with the dates. So we are starting the semester next Tuesday, because Monday is a public holiday in the local area here, which is called Canton de Vaud. So there are no courses. Beware, because most shops will be closed, not all, but yes. And we have this deadline for course registration. And in November, we have something like the deadline, the last possibility for exam withdrawal. And that's a very important remark, which you might not know, is that when you register for a course, you are automatically registered for the corresponding exam. Okay. So if, for example, suppose you have started, you have registered to some course, and in the course of during the semester, you say, actually, I don't need this course, or this course does not fit me, I have changed for something else. Maybe you have even get your learning agreement approved by your home university and everybody's okay. But you have to do something more in addition, is to go to IS Academia and withdraw explicitly from the exam. Otherwise, you have a 0 or an A on your statement of results, which is perhaps not nice to have. Simply, just because it will count if you forget to withdraw. It will count as a failed attempt, so it will be marked accordingly failed, or NA, I don't know what is exactly marked, or 0. I mean, something obviously, not very beautiful. So don't forget that. Then there is the holiday break around Christmas, and then you will have some time to prepare for the exams, which will start in mid-January and last for 3 weeks. There's the session of exams for the autumn semester courses, and then a short break again of something like 2 weeks before the spring semester starts, and then it's the same scheme. 2 weeks of deadline for course registration, and then last deadline for exam withdrawal for those courses, and a break of something like 2 weeks, then exam 3 weeks exam period for spring semester courses. The good thing in the spring semester is that we have a break in the middle, roughly in the middle. This is around Easter. We don't have any break in the autumn semester. That's you have to prepare yourself, for the kind of marathon. It should be okay. I mean, it's 14 weeks, okay, but there's absolutely no break. So it's experience shows that, at least me, every year, I come to close to Christmas a little bit, some fatigue, but it's okay. So just to tell you, okay, don't. I mean, you have to really start working immediately. You cannot count for a semester break to somehow catch up on the things you would not have done. So it's can be pretty intense, I would say, yes. Okay, any question about this? No. And now I'm not so sure about the remote participants. You just raise your or speak up, because I don't see you actually at all with this. If you have any question from remote, no? Okay. So let's move on. I think that's yes. The now a few I don't know, bad news, just news. The exam rules. I told you that you follow the same rules as our students, and as I just said, if you forget to cancel your registration for an exam, it will count as one failed attempt. And in practice, if you fail, you will have to redo the branch at your home university, because we don't have resit exams as a second attempt right after the usual session. We don't have. Simply does not exist. So you should not count on it. It's very unfortunate. That's the rule that we apply to our students, and I realize, of course, for you, it's a particular difficulty, because the rule is that if you have one failed exam, you have to resit the exam, but 1 year after, which is, of course, not possible for you. I mean, yeah. So this means that you actually have just one attempt. It's a bit tough. Yeah. I'm sorry about that. I cannot do anything about it. But I think I need to inform you about this. Yeah. So it's pretty tough. Yeah. The exam form is either written or oral or during the semester. You have also information. The language of the courses is, and again, the basic rule is that all master courses are in English. Bachelor courses, it starts in basically French, and then it's a mixture. You will see some courses in English, some in French, but okay. All professors, all teaching staff, they speak English if you need to interact with them. But the problem sheets, the lecture notes, and all this will be in French in this case. Okay, so this is just to give you a glimpse of the wide variety of research that we do in physics at EPFL. Research is regrouped in what we call the Institute of Physics. That's just the overhead to which, for the whole thing, which has different groups: physics of energy in particles, condensed matter physics, biological systems, and theoretical physics. So many really wide, I think, pretty complete range of activities. So these are the labs which you would contact for the TP4 or lab work. Okay. Before taking up your questions, I have just two important messages. That it's about harassment. I talk about harassment jokingly before. Actually, I should not joke at all about it, because, of course, this harassment, violence, or discrimination is simply not tolerated here. If you are either witness or victim of such thing, you should provide support if you can, and seek support if you need it. Talk about it, bring up the problems. We have a network here with this link, with useful addresses, trust and support network, because unfortunately, sometimes not so nice things happen, so you need support, and that's here. The other thing is about IT and security, so it's pretty obvious advice, or like protecting your passwords, phishing, be mindful of phishing campaign. I think it's a mistake here. The slide is not for me. Phishing for me, I don't write it in this way, because I don't mind phishing with F, I mind phishing with PH, right? Sorry about that. Okay, use your privileged account when required, protect your devices, your passwords and everything. Keep your software updated, and try to minimize your risk when browsing the internet. And again, there is a link here with some more specific advice or things to do, like when you connect from outside, you can install a VPN, but then you need the how it's called the two-level access with an authenticator and stuff like this. Okay, so any more questions? Yes.
How exactly do oral exams work? Because in the UK, we don't really have those.
Yeah.
At most, like PowerPoint presentations.
Okay, PowerPoint presentation is also this is typically an oral presentation of a master's thesis, for example. So this does not concern you. The oral exam is organized by each professor. Normally, the professor should tell you anyway, whether it's written or oral exam, what would be the topics of the exam. Normally, this corresponds to the topics of the courses. And then the idea, usually it works like this, but it's really to be checked with each professor separately. You pick up randomly a question, which can be a theoretical question, which can be a small problem to solve. Then you go to the back of the room and you have a certain time of the order of 20 minutes or 30 minutes. This again depends on every professor, while your predecessor is at the blackboard and answers the question. And then it's your turn. You go in front of the professor. There should be an observer. There should be an observer also in this. And you go to the blackboard and you present your thing. You reply to the questions of the professor. It's really like that, basically. You are not, yeah, I know that it's destabilizing sometimes, yeah. Yes?
So when we talk about failing and exam, I think the grade values in the UK are different to here. So is the failure determined by your home university? Because I think at Nottingham, they convert the grades differently, or should I just ask my coordinator about it?
You should check with your coordinator. From our rule is that the marks, it's a special system because the minimum mark is 1, maximum mark is 6. The pass mark is 4.0. There are quarter points in between. The 0 is really for no-show or failure or cheating in the exam or something not good to have anyway. Because there are special rules in the 0. Anyway, so it's from 1 to 6. You see the pass mark 4. So this means something like 60% would be the threshold for us. But this is for us. So this means in the thing you will get in your transcript of records that you will get from our academic registrar's office. You will get the branch, the mark, and number of credits obtained. And this number will be 0 if, according to our rule. If you have 3.75, then it will be 0. But if now it's a question of your home university, do they accept the pass mark of 3.5 maybe or something? I don't know. Yeah, I know it's different in every university. Different marking systems, A, B, C, D, F, A++, A minus, or whatever, or marks up to 100, or marks up to 20, or anything. So we just use our rule. You have then to explain to your home university in case they want to apply different things. One thing that you could mention to your home university is this rule of blocks, because we have these blocks of branches, and for us, even if you fail one exam, so the rule does not apply to you, but just to explain the fact that for us, if you have say a 3.5 in solid state physics, this can be compensated by a 4.5 in electrodynamics. So you will get the average because they are in the same block, and you will get the credits for everything. So you see, it's a different pitch, and this I can't do. Again, I cannot change the rules, but you could explain it. And in case you, if you, in case you need some official declaration, I mean, more official or whatever, you can contact me. I can explain it if needed. No problem, to your home university. Explain our system. I know because I have the same problem, because I'm supervising EPFL students who go to various universities, including Nottingham, including Imperial, including Ludwig Maximilian, the Humboldt University in Berlin, whatever. I don't know from where you are, Barcelona, anything, anywhere. And each university has a different grading system and different rules for that. So it requires a little bit of sometimes insider knowledge. Yeah.
So is there access for past exams or past protocols?
Sorry, I don't know why this. Okay, then. Enthusiasm. Sorry, sorry, I missed the. Yeah.
So is there like drive or something for past exams or protocols of oral exams, for example, by other students? So that we can...
You mean previous examples?
Yeah.
Oh, this is to be asked to your professor. Each professor has maybe it's okay. I know some professors give that even on the website of their course, and some are more reluctant to give. It's you have to be careful, because it's a kind of it's a double-edged sword, because you might think, oh, but this I could have done. And you think it's okay, but actually the exams are never the same. So, but okay, yeah, ask your professor. Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering if there are any like suggestions you can make, like overlapping exam dates.
For the exam day, I mean, there is already the question of overlapping the schedules, huh? Because we allow you to take basically any course. Of course, it can happen, and it does almost always happen, that you have an overlap. If the overlap is partial, maybe it's manageable. If it is total, then you have a problem. For the exam date, good question again. Indeed, if you take some courses, for example, of our third year, and some master courses, there's no guarantee, absolute guarantee, that there will be no overlap. Again, I don't know what happens in this case. It's the fact that I don't know, this means, of course, it's my own ignorance. So, but it's also probably because it does not happen so often.
That makes sense.
Probably. And if it happens, what should we do? If it is two written exams taking place at the same time, it's very difficult to change, because you know there's a domino effect. So if you ask for a change of one exam, and the other students have then overlaps with, it's a kind of nightmarish situation. If it is oral exam, on the other hand, this gives probably the flexibility of the professor to say, okay, I know you have a written exam on this date, so I will take you on another date or another time or something. But this, you have to be aware, in principle, can happen.
You just said that if we have a total overlap between courses, it's really a problem. So if that happens, we need to change one of the two courses.
Yeah, I would say, again, this is we don't check. I mean, we don't prevent, administratively speaking, we don't prevent you take this to register at these courses. I don't think, at least until now, there is no cross check when you register, cross check with the time schedule. So in principle you can, and again it's question of common sense. I mean, if the overlap is only partial, say you have a course like 6 hours per week and only 1 hour overlap, you probably can manage it, but it's of course up to you to take this responsibility. If the overlap is really like almost everything is taking place at the same time, like 2/3 or 3/4 or total is in overlap, then I would say yes, you have to explain that to your home university, saying, sorry, I cannot take this course, or ask them for advice, which course, look for another course or whatever. Yeah, I know because this happens. Also, I know this happens, unfortunately. Yeah. I don't know, was there someone else? Oh, sorry, please.
Some courses there's like a requirement, but I don't know how exactly it works, given that we didn't take the EPFL requirement.
Exactly.
We took something at another university.
Yes. That's why the question is the prerequisites of each course description has just required knowledge, and it refers to our courses. And anyway, there is no, again, for this, there will be no checks, administrative checks, namely, because you can imagine the work we will be totally overwhelmed. Which course is the course Z in university X the equivalent of our, say, analysis 2 course? Probably never equivalent. No, but is it okay as a prerequisite for, I don't know, advanced physics, something? I don't know. I don't know. So you will have to check. You will have to check that with your home coordinator. If you give him or her the course description, it gives already an idea of the course level. It doesn't tell everything, but it is something, and then you can work it out. Yes, whether it's reasonable.
Okay. And just to follow that up, there's also some recommended courses. And for example, I want to take quantum and nanoscience, and it says recommended solid state physics, but I haven't done solid state.
Yeah,
So
which means you might have difficulties in following this course. Yeah, it's just anyway. I don't really know why there is this distinction between recommended course and prerequisite, because we don't anyway enforce that strictly. This is more information for you. What's before required knowledge, so that you feel comfortable following this course. Yeah. So yeah, that's all I can say. So you in this case, I would really recommend you start in the first week in this course, and you see usually when we start a course, we give an idea of the course content and more information about this. Will give you already some exercise or some practical thing, books and something, and this will give you an idea whether it's appropriate or not. You have these 2 weeks to decide maybe this is not really appropriate. Yes.
So when do they start giving out exam dates?
Oh, the exam date. It's a good point, and I don't know exact answer to this question. Let me try this other link to the academic calendar. Maybe this one works, right? Okay, calendar academic, you always have most pages the French or English version, and blah blah blah. So this is important dates for students, and do we have this information there? Let me see. Foundation. Yeah, exam session timetable is published in mid-November. There's no exact date. Yeah. So by mid-November you will know if there is a problem. So this gives time to the system in case you have some really strong and hard overlap, then maybe the system can still change the schedule. Yeah. Okay. Further questions? Yes.
The course description would say there's an exercise associated with the lecture.
Yeah.
Practical.
Yeah.
What's the difference between practical work and like a lab?
Well, I don't know. Practical work happens. I can tell you just a few. I mean, one example. Practical is say computational physics. There is practical. It's not really a lab, but it's conceived as a lab in the sense we give you a certain number of things to do. You have to write a report, and this report is then corrected and marked similar way as you would do in a really lab physical where you would manipulate, you do some experiment, write a report, submit the report, get the value marked, and it is the form of the exercise which is different between exercise or project type.
There are some courses where you have to sign up for the practical work and extra. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You mean you have to?
Like you sign up for the lecture and it has an exercise.
Okay.
You also sign up for the practical.
What is it, for example?
Microfabrication campus.
All these sort of things. Okay. That could be the design. I'm not aware. In this case, yeah, there's probably the more theoretical course and then the lab. But it's very rare. Few courses where you have to apply separately for the lecture and the practical. Usually, it's really bundled together. Yes.
So right now when we're choosing the courses, is it how we submit them and then so we see the timetable, or we just kind of have it there and we can change it anytime?
In the IS Academia, you register and you can withdraw. I mean, you can register and withdraw until this registration date in 2 weeks from now. Yes,
And with the
and withdraw until 15th of November also.
limits, number limits of students, like the number of students.
Not for lectures. It's only so this will not really apply to you because we have already prevented you for accessing the lab. That's the lab of third year, laboratory of third year, which is not accessible to you because this is already, they have already trouble with our home students. There's really not enough physical space somehow to conduct the experiment. About the other courses, I'm not aware of any limitation really that I'm aware of. No. So this,
It's like practical question when registering for like a course and exam, is it just adding it to the list and click and save, or do you have to do something more?
oh, in practical, this I cannot help you. I cannot. This I don't know. Instruction, practical instructions, how to actually. Good idea is to try to kind of get out of this the system and then go back again and see if you are actually registered or if you have missed the save button somewhere. But this I can't help you. I don't know the interface how it looks for you. Do you?
Just concerning the exam dates once again. If you were to only take, for example, master courses here, are you guaranteed that you have no exam dates that are overlapping because you did the exam with if you take masters and bachelors, or is it still possible to have overlapping exam dates? You only take master courses.
This can even happen with master courses only because our curriculum for master, if you have taken a look at it, it's I don't know, there are 50 choice of 50 courses, but each student is maybe having to take 10 out of these 50, or I mean, and necessarily we cannot predict what will be all possible combinations. So, but on the other hand, most of the exams are oral, so it's usually, but that's why the date is published on 15th, say mid-November, and if this happens, then it's time to contact maybe your professor is not aware of it, but to talk, and then maybe they can try to change. Yes.
Okay.
So this can happen indeed. Yes. Still.
So there's no way of like assuring that we won't have any overlap?
No, but it's impossible because we give you, I mean, we give you freedom. And by giving you freedom, we have to allow for the possibility of collisions. Yeah, it's what we call, it's not a collision-free algorithm. Talk in terms of algorithm. Fortunately, this can in principle happen, and it somehow happens. But again, you have 3 weeks. I mean, the exam session is 3 weeks. Usually, in every session, you have to take something like maybe 5 exams. So you see, it's every 2 or 3 days that you have one exam. So it's, it's not dense. It's not that you have a full packed schedule. But of course, we cannot guarantee that you have 3 exams on 3 consecutive days. Sorry, but this can happen. I mean, we try, of course, to put the things, from the past experience of how many students take which course, because the master, we know from experience, some courses are very popular, so there's more students. And there are some combinations, of course, like someone taking quantum chromodynamics and some other will probably also take some highly theoretical courses together. So we try to not have them together, for example, but it's not exact science. No, it's pragmatic. You had still a question?
It's very kind of irrelevant, but is there any opportunity to go visit CERN at this stage?
Oh, visit CERN. I don't know. Yes. I really don't know about CERN, but you should talk. Yeah, I mean, there are of course, we have colleagues. I have colleagues doing particle physics, and maybe they do organize even such visits for their students. It could be. Visiting the lab, it could be. There are possibilities also to visit the Swiss Plasma Center. Why not? This I could organize for you if there are people interested. We have the Swiss Plasma Center a tokamak, which is this device making hot plasmas in the quest for nuclear fusion. We are not making nuclear fusion here, or very few only, but we have a large experiment. The largest experiment on campus. So I don't know, and other experiments involving plasma. So if there is in the course of the year, of the semester, some interest, you can contact me, and I will contact colleagues to organize these things. You have to plan ahead a bit, but it's doable in principle. About CERN, I don't have direct contact, so it's better to contact a professor in particle physics. But no, it's a very good suggestion. We are so close to CERN that would be an opportunity. I know there is every year, I think it's in the spring semester, there is a day out with the students where they visit some installation, some lab, something in the area, and they very often go to CERN. But yes. Check. Yes.
TP for the project, because it has to be in a lab related to.
Yes. For this, yes. Here there is some restriction, and TP4 has to be. Oh, again, because I mean the TP4 is something we have in the physics curriculum. I don't know about other sections, if they have a similar format or not, so I can't tell you. But if you register for physics, TP4, then the professor has to be attached to the physics section. Having said that, we have a number of professors who have double affiliations. This can happen, A colleague, for example, who is in the physics section, but at the same time in the IC section, because teaching on both sides, informatique and communication. Or we have a few examples like this, but I cannot guarantee you them. The main point is that professor has to be affiliated to the physics section, because he has to endorse, the kind of project, and he's the one who put the mark in the end.
They, for example, have this project on the section for material science, they just do the reports.
If they have a similar thing, you would have to check with them. I'm not so sure if they allow you to take this as an exchange. No. I didn't check, but yeah. But in principle, yes. And from my point of view, yes, but I don't know the rules there in other departments. I don't know even if it exists, similar things. Probably, but maybe not exactly the same format or the same rules. Or this I don't know. Okay, I think, are we through? Is there any from the participants? I see no hand raised. No. Okay, so I propose we can stop the meeting now. Stop sharing. Yes. Okay. So thanks to those who are connected over Zoom. I will stay, of course, available through email if you have further questions. You can find a date for appointment if you have more specific questions for your choice of courses or any other related academic question. So I say bye-bye to our remote students. Hope to meet you sometime face-to-face during this semester, and yeah, good luck and enjoy your studies. Same to, of course, all of you who are in present. Okay, bye-bye.